Hi, I want to welcome you to this update for the First Presbyterian Church of Birmingham, Michigan, Everybody's Church, for June 30, 2022. There are a number of things I want to let you know about this morning, but the first are a couple of them coming out of our session meeting this last Monday night. The first is that the session voted to go ahead and do away with our COVID policy. What that means is that masking now becomes an individual choice. You are not required to wear masks in the building, at committee meetings, or in worship. If you would like to do that, that is just fine. We encourage you to consider what you think is best for you to keep you safe. The only exception to this is, at least at the moment, the 8:30 service of worship. Because the 8:30 service of worship will continue to be masked. I'm going to take a poll of the people in there, and if they would like to continue that, we will. But other than that, masking is up to you. We hope you will look at the CDC and Oakland County recommendations, and if it goes to red again, we will encourage you to mask up, but there are no longer any requirements. Second thing we did at session meeting is we made Cindy Burton Educator Emeritus. It is a title that honors her 23 years of service here, but also lets her have a few continuing sort of privileges around the building. And so just congratulate her for that. Now, why am I in here? I'm in here because this coming Sunday, actually several things about this coming Sunday, but I'm here because there'll be no Sunday school for children this Sunday. We hope families you'll bring your children or grandchildren with you. Hopefully they'll sit through the service. After all, my brothers and I sat through services from kindergarten on up, and we learned a lot. Um, but if your kids get a little antsy, you can come here into the lounge. And as you can see, the lounge is set up like a mini church. We even have Jesus over here with us, and you can watch the service on the television and just let your kids sort of play at being church, at being leaders in church. Now, other things about this Sunday, it's the first Sunday of the month, which means two things. The first is that it is Loose Change Sunday. So please bring your loose change for the deacon's offering. Food, clothing, and shelter is what it goes to. The other is that it's Communion Sunday. So if you are at home viewing, please get your communion elements ready and join us in communion. Now, one of the fun things coming up is that we're going to have a group go out to the Jimmy John's Field for a baseball game. That will be on the 29th of July, but you need to make your reservations by the 15th. Now, how do you make your reservations? Just go to the website, look under events. You'll see Jimmy John's baseball game. Click on that. It'll take you to a reservation page where you can reserve your seats. And remember, we only have places for 50, so we encourage you to get signed up and join us out at Jimmy John's Field. Now, the last thing is that I've been trying to do some education about who we are as Presbyterians. One of the things that is currently happening in our denomination is that our General Assembly is meeting. The General Assembly is a meeting of Presbyterians from all over the country and the world. They're delegates, commissioners. Half the commissioners are laity, elders, and the other half are ordained clergy. And they make decisions about policies and stands that the church is going to take. They make changes to the Book of Order or the Book of Confessions. And I wanted to let you all know how that works. Now, it can be a little complicated, but I have visuals. So here we go. So let's say a session or presbytery believes that the denomination should take a particular stance on an issue, or they want to make a change to the Book of Order, our Constitution, or they want to make a change to the Book of Confessions. What they do is they create a thing called an overture. Sessions can make overture, and when they do, they send them to the presbytery. Or A committee of presbytery can create an overture and send it to presbytery. The presbytery votes. If the vote is no, it just dies right there. If it's yes, however, it goes on looking for sponsors. It looks for other presbyteries to help sponsor this overture because it takes at least two presbyteries, I believe, maybe three, to sponsor an overture to go on up in the food chain. Then, if it gets other sponsors, it goes to the General Assembly offices and it's looked at by agencies, it's looked at by committees of General Assembly, and they comment on it and put their comments around the overture. But then the overtures go from there to the General Assembly meeting where they go to the Overtures Committee. The Overtures Committee looks at these overtures and says, where should they go? Which committee should they go to? And then it sends them out to the committees. The committees look at these overtures, again, whether it's a stance the PCUSA should take or it is a change of some kind to the Book of Order, Book of Confessions. The committee will discuss, debate, and they will vote on them. If the vote is no, it dies in committee. If the vote is yes, then it goes to the plenary session, the big session, and there they discuss, debate, and vote. Again, these overtures could be voted down. It could be no, and thus it ends. However, if it's voted yes for Book of Order changes or Book of Confessions changes, it goes back to the presbytery. If it's simply a stance that the General Assembly believes the church ought to take, it's done. It's voted yes, and so then it is broadcast throughout the denomination. Um, Now, once an once changes to the Book of Order, Book of Confessions come to the presbyteries for their vote. If it's a change to the Book of Order, it only takes the majority of presbyteries to vote yes. Then it becomes a change to the Book of Order. But again, if the presbyteries vote no, it ends there. If it's a change to the Book of Confessions, it takes a two-thirds vote of the presbyteries. Oh, and by the way, for a change in the Book of Confessions, requires a two-thirds vote of General Assembly. On the floor, changes the Book of Order again, only majority vote. But then, if two-thirds of the presbyteries approve, it will go back to the next General Assembly for their concurrence, and only then will it become a change or addition to the Book of Confessions. Now, Reverend Bethany is a commissioner to this General Assembly, and she's on the committee that is looking at an overture to add a new confession to our Book of Confessions. And so they will discuss that, they'll vote on it, and then it will go out. If it's approved by the plenary, they'll move forward with this process. Now, I realize this all may seem a bit cumbersome, but it's intended to be deliberative, that we Presbyterians are a deliberative body. We do things decently and in order, and this is one way that we accomplish that. So here is my phone number, 210-508-0184, 210-508-0184. If you need anything, give me a call. Even if you need to talk to me on the 4th, give me a call then too. I am always around. So two things. Be grateful. Find at least one thing for which you are grateful on this day, and then get out and enjoy God's good creation because it is a gift to all of us. And may God's blessings be with you now and always.